Welcome back, folks. It's Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared with Bob. Pickett's hanging out in the bottom corner over there if you're on the YouTube show. And this is our first Sunday night recording of football season, right? I think so.
Yep.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Week one.
That was stupid.
We're not calling college, so
Yeah,
one was
yeah. So if you've been listening to the show long enough, it's typically customary that in this time slot, we, I don't know, just kind of look over the day, see how things went, and then move along with our lives. And typically, try and pick up the shattered pieces of our betting lives and continue on. So it's week one. I don't know. How much did you actually watch today? Did you watch all of it?
I watched Red Zone at 1 o'clock, and I watched the Patriots at 4:25.
Yeah, same. So we saw the exact same thing. What do you think? Any takeaways?
I'm fucking nasty, dude. I was 5-1. I was 4-1 on my picks today.
Really?
But I decided
the picks we put on. Are those the picks we put on Instagram?
No. So anyone who's listening, in full transparency, I'm going to steal what another, I don't know if I want to call her a handicapper. I don't know what I want to call her, but it's Pamela Maldonado, who will put out picks, but also works for Yahoo Sportsbook creating content.
Yeah.
So something she did this year was she made the distinction between predictions and picks. So what you're going to get from me if we're going to continue to do the Instagram stuff, you're going to get predictions from me because my picks aren't going to go in until like the last second.
Yeah.
So I put all my bets in 10 minutes before the game because I don't want to pretend I'm a handicapper. I don't want to pretend whatever. As we get closer to the game, I'm going to look at what's going on, and that's probably be how I bet.
Okay.
So prediction-wise, I think, so the Vikings did not – wait, did the Vikings go over? I don't know.
Stand by. Let me pull it up. No, it was 27-24 because they went into overtime tied at 24.
And what was their team total, 24.5?
24.5.
Of course.
Lost on the hook there. Yeah, I think the Jets-Carolina game, I'm pretty sure that went under.
That went under.
Yeah, that went under.
I actually wagered money on that. That went under.
And then you hit Washington football team -1.
They did not cover. They lost outright.
Oh, they lost. Shit, that's right.
So
yep, they did lose.
Yeah, so prediction-wise, not great.
Yeah, you went 1-2. I also went 1-2 with my well, those were actual picks. Those are bets that I made. I hit the under in the Pittsburgh game. I did not hit the under in the Cleveland game. And obviously the aforementioned Vikings -3 did not hit. Vinny also
did not win the Titans bet, I'll tell you that.
Went 0-4, I believe. He had Tennessee -3. They lost. So that was a loss. Buffalo -6.5. They lost. Indy money line. They lost. And the Jacksonville team total over 24. They did not come close.
That's pretty good though.
So combined, we went 2-10?
2-8, right?
2-8. Yeah. 10 total.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
You got to follow. I mean, I'm sorry. You got to fade.
Well, and again, so if we're in the the full transparency mode here, one, you kind of texted me being like, "Hey, do you guys want to put some of this together?" And in good fun, I just sent you 3 random picks back.
Yeah, and I mean, I can always just change that. It's literally semantics. Like on the Instagram, like the post thing that I edit, I'll just change it from picks to predictions, and then we go. We're done.
That's it, and that's what it'll be because I won't be actually wagering any money on any of my picks.
Yeah.
Now, I will also vow, I guess in a way, I'll try to actually come up with some picks so it's not just me in 5 minutes thinking like, hey, what do I like?
Yeah.
Now, if you really want picks, you should probably just listen to the Bacon Bets podcast, because that's the other thing too, is like, I don't want to just steal.
Shout out to Ian.
Yeah, I don't want to just steal 3 of Ian's picks.
Right.
But like, if you want to know where his head's at, he did well today. He was 11-3.
Yeah, I think he did. I was gonna tweet at him. He tweeted earlier and said he went 7-3 on his first 10 bets, and I was gonna reply to him and be like, "Yeah, sorry, the one bet that we were both aligned on, you lost. So sorry about that." It was Minnesota -3.
Yep. Yep.
So I blew that for him. Sorry, Ian.
Yeah, it's too bad.
But yeah, so I mean, that's there. Any takeaways from week 1 as far as teams go, or the Patriots in general? Patriots did not look great.
I got nothing. I mean, that game went exactly how I thought it would, outside of 2 fumbles.
Right. I think everyone knew it was going to be close. I don't think anyone thought it was going to be a blowout on either side. I didn't expect them to look great. I did expect the defense to look a little bit better than it did.
I mean, the defense did only they held them to 17.
Yeah.
But it's I know what you're saying, though, because when the defense got shredded, they got shredded.
Right. It was either like they let Miami march down the field for 80 yards, or they caused a 3-and-out. Like, there was no in between. Like, there was nothing in between.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I just don't think it was overly. So there's also a thing with the Dolphins. I don't know what it is, but Devontae Parker, I guess, will just always kill the Patriots. That's just going to be something that happens. So
yeah, he's one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, again, the game kind of went exactly how I thought it would. So if you take the way I looked at it going into the game, I forget what the over-under was. What was it, 43.5?
Something like that.
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head.
43.5 and Patriots -3. And I'm thinking Patriots probably cover and it stays under. What's a score that we're probably looking at? Wouldn't 23-17 kind of fit right in that mold?
Yeah.
So if Harris doesn't fumble and they punch it in,
right,
we're at 23-17. So
right.
It's hard to put it on one fumble, but if the defense is only going to give up 17, you can't ask for too much more than that.
Right. And I mean, that is, I happened to catch the Sports Hub during the week because I took a break from just podcasts, partially because I got a new phone and it was all fucked up. It doesn't matter. But I heard on the podcast, the 98.5, the Sports Hub, that the whole reason they're surmising that they decided to go with Mac Jones out of the gate was partially because of Stephon Gilmore not being available. So the thought process that they shared was, if Gilmore's out there and your defense is nasty and it's holding teams to, 17 points or less week in and week out, you'll win a few games with Cam Newton because you may only score 20 points. But, with Gilmore not out there, teams might score a little more. So you need a quarterback that's going to actually be able to get you points, which by all means, I think Mac Jones played very well today, considering it was his first NFL game ever. Couple things here and there. There was looks like a rookie. Like there was a throw to James White in the flat that was offline that the commentators talk. I think it was Trent Green. He mentioned it. He goes, yeah, that's a rookie thing. You throw offline, leaning a little bit to your left. And so the ball goes down and away. Like little things here and there that can be cleaned up and it's not a big deal. But other than that, I thought he did awesome. We'll see. Well, I mean, I'm not one of these guys that's going to come out and make any kind of declarations after week 1 saying that anyone is the greatest ever or the worst ever.
They're probably going to have to steal one now.
Yeah.
Because they should have won that game. Now, I'm only mad about it because it came down to a fumble. It's not like it was like, hey, they both played reasonably well. No, it came down to a fumble.
You know what, though? In the last few years, that is a typical Miami game. Like, it comes down to something fucking stupid. Like, remember the Brandon Bolden kick return or whatever it was when he was on Miami, or the play? Remember what was
the Miami Miracle?
Yeah, the Miami Miracle. There's, I feel like one of the other Miami games, there was a fumble late that kind of blew it.
Probably
wasn't it last year? Wasn't it Cam? Cam Newton got held out of the, I don't know. There was something. There's been a few games with Miami that I think that's just been the case every time. Like I said, the last like maybe 2 to 3 years.
But the other thing too is Miami's defense is good. They were good last year, and that was a 10-win team last year. So it's like, listen, I am not in the business of moral victories, but
no,
they should have won, I think. But they at least should have taken it to overtime. I thought the defense played reasonably well. I thought Matt Jones played reasonably well. Running backs got to hold on to the ball. That's what it comes down to, and that's it. That's all there is to it. I think this year is going to be a little bit more difficult than everyone thought because although Jones looked good, he looked good for a rookie.
Exactly.
It was a little tough sledding out there. I mean, I think he's better than Cam, and I'd rather have
beautiful pass. I know I just said that he kind of blew one to James White in the flat. He had a beautiful pass to James White. I think it was a wheel route on the sideline. Dropped it right in. Like Cam Newton ain't making that throw.
No, Cam Newton got picked. He threw a pick six on a screen pass. It's only happened like once in 20 years or something retarded like that.
Yeah, the other one was probably Matt Schaub. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, other takeaways. I know Ian was big on the Vikings, and it's like, wow, way to fucking suck.
Yeah.
The Bengals really dominated that game.
Yeah, that was a surprise that it went to overtime. Because Red Zone had that game on quite a bit, at least at the beginning.
Yeah, they had a 2-touchdown lead.
It was like Bengals. Like, it was almost like an afterthought that the Vikings came back to tie it and send it to overtime.
Yep. Steelers Bills. That was a little. I was actually surprised.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that. Actually,
Bills might not be as good as we thought, and the Steelers might be a little bit better than people were giving them credit for.
Yeah. I will say though, I think Ian was on a Buffalo regression this year.
I think he was too, but he was also on a Pittsburgh regression because he doesn't like Big Ben.
Yeah, he was also, I know for sure, shitting all over the Titans. He, like us, does not like the Titans. He thinks the Titans suck and are going to suck this year, which after week 1 could be the case.
And part of his thought was Derrick Henry can't keep up the pace he's on.
Right.
He played like shit today.
Right. Well, that's just because he's on my fantasy team. So that will come true. Ian's prediction will come true, but only because he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
And that is the last time we'll talk about fantasy. I just had to throw that out there.
And I will put it out there. It's fucking fantastic not doing fantasy yet again.
Yeah.
Good to see the Cleveland Browns are still the Cleveland Browns.
Yep. Of course. So I actually had, this kind of rolls into some stuff. I had this written down before, and I know it's kind of coming at a weird spot because like we just played whatever 90% of the week 1 games, but we just didn't record this week before Sunday. So I have some bold predictions for the season that I'm going to stick by. One of them does not look so good right now, but I don't care because it's just week 1. So I have 3 bold predictions for the season. The first one was that Pittsburgh is going to suck. I'm sorry. Let me be more specific. Pittsburgh offense is going to suck this year, and therefore the play will be Pittsburgh unders all year long because their defense is pretty fucking nasty. So I think they're going to be a good under team this season. But obviously, you know, like I said, my bold prediction was that the Pittsburgh offense was going to suck. I took that a little bit from Ian listening to him, but then also just kind of like in general, like the eyeball test, like Big Ben sucked at the end of the season last year. So there's nothing to make me think that he's going to be better this year, that he's a year older and a year fatter. So I'm sticking by that. The Pittsburgh offense going to suck. They're an under team. Again, kind of looks like I'm eating my own socks after week 1 on that one, but there's still 16 more weeks. So
why they scored 23 points. It's not like they were a high flying offense.
Right.
And the defense, they had a pump block.
Yeah, they did.
So offensively, they only scored 16.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I like that. My bold prediction is still in play.
Remember, it's not your fault that they had a defensive special teams touchdown. You can't handicap.
Yeah, you can't handicap for a special teams touchdown.
You can't handicap defensive touchdowns.
Yeah. So my second.
So it's the right play. I'm sorry, it's the correct bet. It might just not work out.
Yeah, no, it's the right bet. It just didn't work. It just didn't hit. So my second bold prediction is the LA Chargers will end the year with a top 5 defense. I think now I might throw an asterisk on this one and say pending health, because the biggest issue for the Chargers defense the last 5 years has been health. And they have not been able to stay healthy. But currently, right now, that defense is healthy. And if they stay healthy, I think they're going to have a top 5 defense this year between Joey Bosa, Derwin James.
Go ahead and say him. Go ahead and say him.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for you to name him. Go ahead. Go ahead. You know what I'm thinking of?
No, the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is their corner's name?
Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah, okay. Asante Jr. No, who's their? Hold on, I gotta pull up there.
Who's their actual good player?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I'm bitter because Asante Samuel is a fucking null. I don't think he's that good.
Linval Joseph is out there. Oh, Kenneth Murray. That's the linebacker that I was trying to think of. And then Chris Harris is there now. So I don't know. Like I said, if they can, Jerry Tillery is over there. If they can keep their shit together and stay healthy, I think that defense is going to be good. I think Derwin James is a huge difference maker. He's so fucking nasty, but Derwin James and Joey Bosa were both hurt last year. So, that's how they ended up losing 4 games by 3 points or less, or 4 points or less, or something like that.
So one issue with them being a top, I like your idea that they're going to play better. They will have to play the Chiefs twice. I don't know what else is on their schedule. The Raiders offense should be annoying. So whether it's top 5 or not, it should be improved by getting they're good players out there.
But these are my bold predictions. They're not my.
Oh, that's true.
They're not my smart predictions. They're my bold.
What else are you gonna go with? Jameis for MVP?
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna totally steal everything Ian says.
Oh, that's right. He did say that.
Yeah, he does. He does have Jameis as MVP.
Five touchdowns, Jameis.
So my third and final bold prediction for this season. Now, again, I had these prior to this week because right now everyone's going to be like, "Oh, you're jumping on the bandwagon." No. This was before. Like I said, it's just a timing thing. But my third and final bold prediction is that the Arizona Cardinals will make the NFC Championship game. Now, will they win it? I don't know, but I'm going to put them in the NFC Championship game. Now, it doesn't seem like a bold prediction after today's game, but
it's a very bold prediction.
4 days ago, that was a pretty bold prediction.
I think it still is. Because now you got the Saints. The Saints just showed you that Jameis is serviceable.
Yeah. And the Saints defense is very good.
And I guess we'll see tonight. So by the time this actually comes out, I could be wrong, which I usually am. Prediction-wise, I'm usually wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck me. The Rams.
Yes.
I think the Rams are going to be good.
Yeah, now that they have like a actual quarterback in Matt Stafford and not dog shit Jared Goff.
Yeah. And I think they're also like I know they lost Cam Akers, but they're probably a plug and play at running back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever idiot's available can just play.
I mean, look what they did last year with Malcolm Brown and Daryl Henderson. Like, like
Yeah,
they were still really good with those
their
guys.
defense is good. So I'm trying to think who else. I don't trust any team in the NFC East.
No.
The North, you.
Yeah,
The
North is
North,
gross.
the North. I don't think is gonna be very good at all. Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna fall one game short. It should probably be Saints Rams in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Which inevitably the Saints will lose because they have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah.
So that being said, sorry for cursing both teams, or at least one. We just don't know which one yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are my three bold predictions for the season. But I mean, Arizona looks like a fucking juggernaut after today's game.
But do they though? They played the fucking Titans.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. You have to keep in mind, like they played the Titans, which, depending on who you listen to and who you follow, they're in for a big regression this year anyway.
They did nothing offensively today. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I am not taking fucking any stock in that win specifically. When
Yeah.
they beat, because their division is Seattle, San Francisco. Seattle, San Francisco, and the Rams.
Rams. Yeah.
Can 4 teams from one division get in the playoffs?
If they can, this year might be the year.
Because
they added an extra wild card, didn't they?
No, it's still just it's the 7 still, but there's an extra game.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get one more crack at a team that's not in their division. So they're gonna have to go 3-3 in the division, or better.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they can. I think if they split with each team, that's massive. But
Yeah.
It sounds like that division will probably just beat each other up.
That is true too. Yeah. Or it's injuries could be what gets in the way too. Like if Matt Stafford goes down, okay, well, you can take the Rams out of it because I have who's their backup? Brett Rippin, like
I don't even know.
Mike Glennon. I don't know, some loser.
Yeah, Easton Stick.
Yeah, because I mean Stafford has dealt with it. He's getting older. He's probably like 32, 33 at this point. And he had like, I don't know if he had spinal fusion surgery, but he had a really bad back injury last year. He had a disc injury. It was lower back. It wasn't like neck. So it wasn't like awful. Lower back you can kind of deal with, but he still had some sort of vertebral injury. Yeah. So I don't know. But those are my bold predictions for the NFL this year. So be prepared for them all to be wrong. The Cardinals will end up with the 4th overall pick. The Chargers will have one of the worst defenses in the league. And
the Steelers are going to score 1 million points every game.
Yeah, the Steelers are going to set the scoring record this year. So
that's not that bold. That one's not that bold, but Cardinals making the NFC Championship is bold. Yeah. Their division's difficult and the team isn't very good. And the coach we'll see. But
yeah. I mostly just like that what JJ Watt adds to that defense. Because now what are you supposed to do? You saw Chandler Jones had 5 sacks today.
I guess that's what you do.
Like, are you going to double JJ Watt and let Chandler Jones get 5 sacks? Or are you going to double Chandler Jones and let JJ Watt maybe get 2 or 3 sacks? You can't double both of them. You can't have 4 guys on your offensive line blocking 2 players on the defense. And then you can only double one guy.
And then you let someone rush from somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, you still have Isaiah Simmons, which is whatever, but he has at least he popped. He flashed today. He had a pretty good game in what I saw in Red Zone. So
The
I don't
Falcons
know.
are fucking terrible too.
Oh, dude, the Falcons are so bad.
But you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna pop some. They'll probably beat the Bucks this year. They didn't beat them last year, but
Yeah.
just when you think they can't beat them, they will.
Oh, they also have our guy. I forgot about that. Zaven Collins.
Who does Atlanta?
No,
Oh,
Arizona.
Arizona.
The Arizona defense. Now that I'm looking at the depth chart, J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Isaiah Simmons, Zaven Collins, Buda Baker's their safety. He's pretty good. Their corners leave a little bit to be desired. Robert Alford, Byron Murphy.
Ugh, you.
But that front seven is pretty legit. So I don't know. It's gonna be. I'm just glad football's back.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah. So now that we have that nice thing out of the way, let's start getting angry about stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
So trying to decide how I want to run through this one. I guess you can kind of like blend these two together. Stupid fucking Biden passed this vaccine mandate thing the other day.
Yeah.
So did you see it? You know what I'm talking about? I'm sure
Yes.
you
I
probably
didn't
heard
read
it from your clients.
So I read, so it pertains to anyone working for or contracted with the executive branch of the government, educators, healthcare providers, and companies with 100 or more employees.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So the big one is any company that has 100 or more employees. And it's like, well, now you're stepping into private sector territory. And again, I don't give a fuck about the vaccine. Like I've said it all along, like if I have to get it for work, then I'll fucking get it. And I'll bitch about it, but I'll just get it. I don't want it. And unless I have to get it to keep my job, I will not get it. Luckily, my job does weekly testing. So I think we fit that loophole where I won't have to get it. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
They'll probably send out an email soon being like, well, now because of the fucking thing, whatever, this is the thing. And whatever. Then I'll just, like I said, I'll shut the fuck up and I'll just, no, I won't shut the fuck up about it, but I will go get it to save my job at least. But, my issue with this is governmental or the government overstepping its bounds here. The federal government should have zero business in private business. That is like, which is why part of me really thinks that there's no way that this is going to hold up. Like if this makes it to the Supreme Court, I feel like it's really easy for them to shoot it down. However, like you said, the first part, like anyone that conducts business with the federal government or like works with whatever this and that, sure, yeah,
it's just the executive branch.
Yeah, but like that makes sense. Which yeah, that's also why people are flipping out right now, is because Congress is exempt from that.
And yeah, Congress and the judicial branch.
Yeah. So it's another one of those rules for thee, but not for me type of deals.
I actually read the Newsweek article, and I don't know if Newsweek is reputable or not, but whatever. What they pulled was, they said this pertains to the executive branch. It does not pertain to the legislative or the judicial branch.
Right.
And then they started pulling quotes from Pelosi. And Nancy Pelosi even said, she was like, oh, well, we can't mandate this in Congress. I don't know how you could do something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, now we're doing it from the executive branch.
Right. Right.
And the only difference is members of Congress will put up a stink the general person isn't good. The general person's powerless.
Right. Right. So, like I said, my issue is that this is governmental overreach, like textbook overreach. The federal government has, like I said, has no business dealing in people's personal lives and their like health choices. So like I could very easily, someone could very easily make an argument. Well, if the federal government is going to step in and mandate that any business with over 100 employees has to mandate a vaccine, well, why doesn't every business over 100 employees have to do like regular BMI testing or restrict certain nutritional things? Because, if you like I said, someone could be able to make an argument that if COVID kills X amount of people, well, heart disease and diabetes kill exponentially more than COVID. So what is the number one thing behind heart disease, or what is the number one factor behind heart disease and diabetes? Obesity. So, you know what I mean? Like, see where I'm kind of going with here? Like I said, I don't think I can sit here and make the argument, at least coherently, but somebody out there would be able to. Like, why not do that then? Or why focus on this?
No one can, because the government doesn't make any money off people being healthy.
Well, no, exactly. That's
So
why the healthcare system is fucked.
Yeah. And especially right now, like obviously this is driven by the pharmaceutical companies, because again, they're getting blank checks.
Yes.
And I had someone try to tell me like, oh no, you really think that is? I go, why wouldn't it be? If you were the fucking CEO of Pfizer and you know that the government's writing you unlimited checks, why wouldn't you just put out all this shit like, hey, whoa, we're gonna need more shots. Oh, we got to get everyone 100%.
Right.
Like, more shots, 100%. That's how these companies are going to make the most amount of money.
Right. That's what it comes down to.
It's not about us. It's not about health. So
it never has been. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. I can't say never. It may have been that more like in the beginning, but it certainly has changed. It is no longer about health.
Yeah.
The 2 weeks to stop the spread was about health and safety. Once we got past that, it was no longer about safety.
Once the vaccine was developed, it should have been over, but
it
ain't over. It gets worse.
And it's never going away. Which brings me to my second point about this is shout out to Sexy Chris if he's listening. I sent him this podcast, but there's this guy Lex Friedman, who's awesome. I love Lex. I'm bummed. I mean, they could still maybe figure it out, but he used to work for Boston Dynamics or Boston Robotics or one of those places. He lived around here. He's super smart. He's on Joe Rogan all the time. And this was back in obviously before we sold the house and before we moved out. I wanted to try and see if we could get him on the show just because I wanted to talk to him and hang out with him and just, pick his brain about a bunch of random shit. And then he moved to Austin. So we lost that capability. So, I mean, like I said, we still could maybe get him on Zoom, but he has a great podcast. I think it's just the Lex Friedman show, but he had this guy on. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try. But I will pull up the episode number for anyone that is interested. It is episode number 216 with Vincent Racanello. I don't know. Episode 216 of the Lex Friedman podcast. This guy, the guest that he had on was a virologist, like a actual legitimate like virologist who's been studying viruses for probably 40, 50 years, because he was talking about work that he did on polio. So this guy's been around the fucking block. And long story short, what he said was COVID is never going away. And he said it's the type of virus that it's impossible to eradicate, because coronaviruses have existed forever. As far as, things go, whatever. We don't have to get into that. But to keep things simple, coronaviruses in general have existed forever. So this new type of strand, whatever you want to call it, coronavirus, it's never going away. He literally said that flat out. This is a legitimate virologist who's done this for decades, was like, yeah, there is no such thing as a perfect vaccine that is going to eradicate this. And he goes in and he explains why that is. But he said it's similar to the flu, right? Because we're never going to be able to eradicate the flu. You get a different flu shot every year, but it only protects against certain strains. And then he even talks about different strains are predominant in different years. So like in a year where the 1968 strain of the influenza virus is like super deadly. So a lot of people usually die during flu season when that's the predominant one. And then obviously the 1918 flu was really bad, but like the 2009 flu is not as bad. So he said it just depends on what strain is dominant and what year. And so he goes into all this bullshit of people talking about like the mu variant, which first of all, like this is the only time it's ever been useful for me that I took Greek in like 5th grade, because I actually know these letters. Mu is pretty fucking far down the alphabet. So for everyone that's like, oh my God, the mu variant, oh shit, we have to watch out for mu. Dude, mu is like the fucking 23rd letter of the Greek alphabet. So in order for it to be on mu, there's 22 other variants of this bullshit. So
yeah, and everyone knows Mewtwo is way more powerful.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
You don't even need a Game Shark to get Mewtwo.
No, the Mewtwo is the deadly one. Mew's a little bitch.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it learns everything. Oh, cool, sick.
Yeah. But like we went from Delta to Mew, and like everyone's like, oh my God, the Delta variant. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, the Mew variant. And then for like a hot second, for like 4 days, like 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you caught it, they were talking about the Lambda variant. And it's like, all right, guys, again, we're getting pretty far down the fucking Greek alphabet at this point. Like, what are we doing? Who cares? There's so many fucking variants. And that's what I mean. This is never going away. It's never going to be gone. So there needs to be some sort of decision made at some point to say, this is it. We're done. We have all these, like, it's essentially like a flu shot. You can get your COVID shot with your flu shot, whatever you want to do. And then if you don't want to get it, whatever, fuck off, live your life. But it's never going to be that way, because as long as people can take control of something, they're going to continue to do it. So I hope you like lockdowns, and I hope you like wearing masks, because we're doing it in perpetuity forever. We're literally never going to go back to any sort of normal anything, because this virus is literally not going away. Like it came from an actual virologist. Again, Lex Friedman podcast, episode 216, phenomenal. There is no there is no political bullshit in it. It's just straight facts. It's what is this? What is that? Tell me a little bit more about this. How does this develop? All this stuff. Like it's a very, very awesome, informative podcast. I can't recommend it enough. If you actually want to learn more about like the truth of how things go. And like I said, it's never going away. We're never getting rid of any of this ever. So I think we're probably the closest we've ever been to another fucking civil war. And I think it's going to be over this bullshit.
People are too soft.
I don't know, man. People are getting, they're being already pushed past their limits.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny though? I said that before, and it's people are soft. What are they going to do? Like, seriously, what are people going to do outside of like Texas, Tennessee, like trying to secede from the Union? Honestly, no, like
Yeah.
honest to God. And like, this is the thing is like, I don't like to think that we don't have an option, but we kind of really don't. Like, what are we
No.
going to do? Like, seriously, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't either. Like, oh, what are we going to do? Arm ourselves? It's like, what does that do?
Yeah.
We're just going to start threatening people on the streets?
Yeah.
Like,
No. Crazy fucking left-wing people do that already.
yeah, and it's like, I don't know. We can never, I always say that this is the thing though, we can never move on.
No.
People seem like they're fed up, but they aren't. They are, but they're fed up, but they don't have anything that they can do about it. So
Right.
I've heard a lot of people say like, I'm not getting a boot. They go, I'm not getting a booster shot. I got the vaccine. I'm not getting a booster shot.
Right.
And I look at them, I go, what if I told you that this thing was the flu? Would everything that's happening start to make a little bit more sense?
Would that be something that you'd be interested in?
I go, what if the COVID-19 vaccine is really just a COVID shot?
Yeah.
Would that start to make more sense as to how this works? They're like, yeah, that would kind of make sense where it's like, hey, it doesn't get everything, but it gets whatever's most popular right now, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. And then conversely, I go, and then, with the big pharmaceutical companies getting a blank check for everything, like, does that kind of make sense as to kind of what's happening right now? Like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But like, this is the thing, everyone's fed up. But what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Because people want to do what they want to do. And it's like, if they want to get on a plane, they're going to have to wear a mask. And people, although fed up with what they want to do, they still do dumb shit like using these PCR tests that have been pulled by the FDA, but not until the end of the year.
Yeah.
So, like, we had a guy fly out to California, come back. He goes, "Oh, well, I'm already vaccinated, but I'm going to get a test just in case."
Yeah.
Why? The tests don't work.
Yeah.
You're vaccinated. That's supposed to be the benefit of being vaccinated.
Right. Right. And that's the whole thing. It's like the people that are the most bitchy about all of this are the ones that are vaccinated. And I look at that as you're theoretically safe, right? Like, isn't the whole point of the vaccine is that you won't die? Now we know that you might still get it because, that people are getting it even though they're vaccinated. But the whole point is if you're vaccinated, you won't die. Okay, cool. So what the fuck do you care if you get it or not then? Have you never been sick before in your entire life? That's what I've been saying this entire time to everyone that tries to have like this, oh, you should really get vaccinated discussion. And it's like, I'm sorry, I forgot you've never been sick before in your life, right? You've never had a cold. You've never felt like shit. You've never had the flu. That's right. Picture perfect health for the last 52 years or however old you are. Like, because it's typically old people, like middle-aged people that try and tell me this bullshit. And it's like, you get sick. I'm 29 years old. I'll get sick. Maybe I'll get really sick. I'm not going to die. Eventually, I'll get better. And then I'll go about my life. Like, I don't understand. And then also, like to the beginning of my rant right here, if you're vaccinated, what the fuck do you care whether I am vaccinated or not?
Because people forgot about the part where, and I'm trying to think. Someone spelled this out a very interesting way, and what is the point of getting vaccinated?
To not die.
Okay, so theoretically, if someone gets vaccinated, should be mission accomplished.
Yeah.
But now the vaccinated people, I should try to find this because the way this was put was just hysterical. It was actually an argument amongst vaccinated people. And it's like, it wasn't even like an argument. It was just like people just like, I don't know. People just don't make any fucking sense.
Well, it's
Like,
never enough too. Like nothing is ever enough. Like it's this whole, you know, the past 2, 3, 4 years, whatever, it's been virtue signaling. Like I need everyone to know that I'm a good person and I support Black people, right? So I'm going to post a black square on my Instagram. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to donate to any causes. I'm not going to, actually donate my time, either money or time, to anything. But I posted that black square on Instagram, so I'm a good person. And it's the same fucking idea. It's I'm vaccinated and I need to let you know that I am, because I'm a good person, and you should want to be a good person too and protect all these people around you. Well, guess what? If I'm not vaccinated and everyone else around me is, they're protected. So
okay.
Again, what the fuck does it matter?
So here's I finally found it, the way that someone put this. Now this is a guy from Boston. I'm fully vaccinated, but watching vaccinated people whine about unvaccinated people being a threat to them, while simultaneously arguing that the vaccine will protect you if you get it, is the funniest thing ever. So let's crush this guy for a second, because obviously he can't be making any sense. So he is vaccinated.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yep.
And what I say he's from Boston. Okay. So we're not gonna go on this crazy limb that, it's like, oh well, he's just nuts because he's from Texas, right?
Right.
Okay. So watching vaccinated people whine about unvaccinated people being a threat, while simultaneously arguing the vaccine will protect you. This is what everyone's doing, right?
It is. Yeah.
So they're saying you need to get the vaccine to protect you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't protect me. It doesn't protect, like, if we know that that all vaccinated people can still spread this thing.
Right.
There isn't one piece of data, advice, research, nothing. There is nothing that has come out and said the vaccine makes you less likely to spread the virus. People have theorized it. People have kind of hoped that would be the case.
Right.
But the CDC hasn't said that. They said, although rare, people with the vaccine can still get it.
Right.
The rare part is you shouldn't be getting a test for no fucking reason, but
yeah.
Because that's the thing. People who are vaccinated say, well, you need to protect yourself. Okay. Then what are you worried about an unvaccinated person for?
Exactly.
What's the issue?
That's my argument. Like if you're vaccinated, you're good. So that should be the end of the argument. Like,
yeah,
you're fine. You're protected.
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh, well, that's my cross to bear. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I like. And that's the other thing too, is like, I don't know what else to say to those people other than like, all right, cool. You know what? If I get it and die, I give you permission to stand on my grave and yell, I told you so. Please, I hope it makes you feel better, because it won't matter to me because I'll be dead.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point?
It's just amazing, because this is where people are at. And yeah. I've had clients say this too. They're like, oh, well, there's an unvaccinated guy in the office. He might be a close contact. So, can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's like, what do you mean you can't believe it? He's a close contact of a vaccinated person who had a breakthrough case.
Right.
I thought your precious vaccine was so fucking special.
Right.
How did it break through? That's the thing, is like, everyone recognizes that you can still get it even though you're vaccinated. It's just supposed to not kill you, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is anymore. But
yeah. No one knows. No one knows what it is anymore. We didn't know what that 95% was. And now it's less than 95%.
Now it might be 65, right?
Yeah, now it might be 65.
but we still don't know what natural antibodies are. Like
No, we do actually. There's
how?
There was a study out of, I think it was George Mason University, that showed that people that have a natural immunity to COVID have more antibodies than people that just got the vaccine. I don't know the number exactly. What's sticking out in my head is 10 to 13, but it could be like 6 to 13. So like someone that gets COVID and gets better, the amount of antibodies they have in their system, I believe, is anywhere from 6 to 13 times more than someone that got just the vaccine. Now, what they're finding threefold later is someone that had it, beat it, then got the vaccine is like, they're calling it super immune, because allegedly these people have the ability to fight off all the variants that are out there. So there's that, because the whole thing was the Delta shut everything fucking back down again. But here we are, nothing really has changed that much other than people freaking out. And now a month later, we're on fucking Mu. It's like, I don't even know. I don't know if I can still run through it. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, phi. I don't know. After there, I can only get to phi, but like there's a lot. There's epsilon in there. There's pi, rho, lambda. Like mu is, like I said, is pretty fucking far down the alphabet. It's past halfway.
Yeah, I think it's 150 in the Pokedex.
Yeah.
No, it's 151.
151. Yeah, and then Mewtwo was 152.
That's way down there.
Yeah.
You gotta get the oh my god. You'd even have to get to the, oh shit, what are those things called? Like the ancient fossils?
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the names.
I don't either. You'd have to get through them first. You have to get all your rare birds.
Yep.
All the dragons.
Yep.
All the shit no one wants. Like, that's a lot of fucking Pokemon to go through to get to you.
Yeah, I know. And that's where we are. But everyone's still talking about Delta like it means something. And it's like, all right, guys. Like, but so that's what I was saying before too. A lot of tangents on this argument. Is that the people that got it, got better, and then got vaccinated, they're like I said, they're through scientific studies have shown that they're super immune, that all these new variants don't even affect them. So that's the play, is what it looks like. So that's what I need to get more information on the study. I might even, like, just to be a really huge fucking cocksucker, I might like print out the study and have a couple copies on me. So that way, like, if the issue does ever come up at work and someone tries to come at me, I would be like, I want you to read this study, because I'm just waiting until I get it. Once I get it and get better, then I'll go get vaccinated. So I'll be super immune. And there's slide the copy of the fucking scientific study across the table and be like, I just want to make sure I cover all my bases.
I'm just trying to protect myself best.
Yeah. Because my chances of getting it are so much lower, right? If I'm vaccinated. So I don't want to lose the chance to be super immune.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make sure I'm protected. So I have to get it first, and then I'll go get vaccinated.
Yeah, I got to get it first, recover, then I'll get the vaccine just to make sure I don't get it.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
Is that is that what it is, or is that not what? I don't know. Again, I don't know what.
Yeah.
What we're measuring.
Yeah. And hopefully, at some point through all this, I get exposed to gamma radiation and become the Hulk. You know,
I just hope we get airborne Ebola, so that people think there's gonna be like some cute little shot that fucking stops you from bleeding out of your eyes and out of your body.
Yeah, no, just death.
Yeah, like
instant death.
Like, something that kills people at like a 30% rate. Yeah, like 1 in 3.
Yeah. I think the funniest thing, we talked about this on the show. Once the vaccines were like, they were out for a little while and people were getting them, there was this like almost like bragging where it was like, oh, people that are vaccinated are dying less than a 0.01% of all cases. And then I think you and I were like, well, do you know how many people were dying that before the vaccines even existed that were under the age of whatever it was, 50? Less than 0.01%. Like it was like the exact, they just took a statistic that already existed and then was like, well, now these people are vaccinated. It's like if you handed everyone a red t-shirt, it's like, well, if you're wearing a red t-shirt, you have less than a 0.01% chance of dying from this thing. Like this, clearly the red t-shirt is what did it. It's like, no. This was a statistic before red t-shirts were invented.
Yeah, you can manipulate stats any way you want them to go, right?
Yeah. But people are out there like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. I have to go get this.
Just amazing. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't believe where we're at with everything that's happened.
Yeah, I think truthfully, I think it's because we're just bored. There's really like nothing else going on. Like if I don't know, like if North Korea was like building a legitimate like nuclear army, I think all this shit would go away.
I don't think people care because they're testing missiles right now and no one's paying attention.
Yeah. Like if something legit was going on, I think this would go away.
I don't know. So this is the only thing though. I don't know if anything legitimate can happen. Like, it doesn't work. Like the world doesn't work this way anymore.
Yeah.
Like we care about Afghanistan, but it's like,
well, the US apparently doesn't work that way anymore.
No, it's like people like, but this is the thing is like people in Boston, Massachusetts are trying to fix the Afghanistan issue.
Yeah.
You ain't fixing Afghanistan.
No.
You don't know shit about Afghanistan.
No, we were there for 20 years and we couldn't. Well, technically we were there for a lot longer because there was the whole first Gulf War. We've been fucking around in the Middle East for decades, like multiple decades.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, you sitting in your fucking cubicle are not going to fix anything.
No.
Yeah, but I got the answer.
No, I know everyone has the answer. They already did.
Yeah.
It seems that they forgot about Afghanistan, though.
Yeah. I actually also had this discussion with Sexy Chris the other day. It was like, we were just talking about the whole Afghanistan bullshit. And it was like, it was because he had sent me an interview that Condoleezza Rice had done with Ben Shapiro, like one of the podcasts. And she was she was fine in it. The way she ended it was bullshit. It was like fear mongering, like, oh, don't forget how you felt on September 11th, all that shit. Like, oh, it was just dumb. And her big thing was we needed to stay. She was like, we should not have pulled out at all. And I completely disagree with that. And this was what I had said to Chris was, you might be able to get me on semantics here, because I think we were way past time to leave. We needed to get the fuck out of there. The way that it was done was, to put it lightly, was retarded. And it cost a lot of American lives. But so also like getting out of there, in my opinion, you also don't completely get the fuck out of there. You do something similar to what we did in Germany and North Korea, where, okay, we're leaving, but we still have an Air Force base here. Just in case you want to be a fucking douchebag again, we can get back over here real quick. Now, and this is what I said to Chris. Maybe it's semantics, and maybe that you could make the argument that that's not actually technically leaving. And I'll let you have that. I'll let you have that argument. But the way it went down was like I said, to put it lightly, was retarded. It was borderline nefarious. Like I've been listening to Dan Holloway talk from the Drinking Bros, and he's a really smart guy. And he said on a couple different occasions on a couple different podcasts that it makes so little sense that it was done, because he also he has a military background. So he's like, we know how to do this. We did it in Panama, I think he mentioned, in, I don't know, whenever the fuck we were in Panama, probably the 80s or 90s. And he said that General Milley, the guy that did this whole thing in Afghanistan, was part of the whole thing in Panama. So Dan was like, this guy knows how it goes. He knows the process, and they didn't follow the process and got people killed in the midst of it. And he goes, there's something that just doesn't add up. And he is, like I said, he's mentioned a few times he doesn't know for sure if there's like nefarious intent behind this. He doesn't really shed light on what it could be either, but I don't know.
Break out the tinfoil hats. Let's go. What we got?
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to even come up with a conspiracy.
Well, the big issue that most people have was, aside from leaving American citizens behind and, having Americans die in the process, they left, what was it, $84 billion worth of equipment. And the problem with that isn't that the Taliban now has it, because the Taliban doesn't have the capability to maintain and upkeep this either. So this is the other thing that I've gleaned from, this is all that I've gotten from listening to other people's podcasts. The Taliban might be able to figure out how to, because they were talking about like the Apache helicopters. They're like, they're able, obviously, because they did it, they were able to figure out how to fly one of them. They have zero capability of maintaining that. They don't know how to, like, I don't know what the equivalent of like changing the oil on your car is for like a helicopter. Like, they don't know how to do that. They're like, this is very short-lived. Like, the equipment that they have, it's going to break down because they don't know how to actually take care of it. The problem is, it's not that. It's that now the Taliban has this equipment and they're going to sell it to Russia and China, who has been trying to get our military equipment forever. And now they can reverse engineer it, because Russia and China actually have the capability of not only building, but also maintaining, and then therefore improving on for their own military. So that's what I've gleaned is to be the real problem with leaving all that equipment behind. It's not that like the Taliban all of a sudden is going to ride a fucking Apache helicopter, over fucking Milan, Italy, and start blowing up Italy. Like, that's not going to happen. It's that now they're like, oh, hey, Russia, we have all of this US military shit that was left behind. Buy it from us. Now we have all this money and you have the military intelligence. So that makes a little more sense when you look at it that way, at least.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the big deal.
So the tinfoil hat theory is all these big military industrial complex places like Lockheed Martin and what's the other big one? It's not BlackRock. Maybe it's BlackRock, but I know they're a real estate company. What's Dick Cheney's thing? Halliburton. So all those companies can now turn around to the US government and be like, well, all that stuff that you lost is being sold to Russia and China. So they're going to have your intelligence. However, if you look over here, we have brand new models of everything that you should buy from us, because it's way more improved than that old bullshit that you left behind over there. And now that's essentially obsolete because Russia and China have your technology. they don't have the technology for this new shit. So how about you come give us this money and buy this new shit? That's the in a nutshell, the tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that far-fetched, honestly.
No, it actually doesn't. It sounds more plausible than not.
Especially with companies like that, it's pretty easy to buy a politician off.
Yeah. So,
and if you're not giving them straight cash, you can fucking give them stock options and whatever.
yeah, or promise them a seat on the board when they eventually stop being a politician, which, good old Dick Cheney. He was I don't know if he was on the board, but he held a high up position in Halliburton, became vice president. Then when he stopped being vice president, he went back to Halliburton. What happened during the time Dick Cheney was vice president? We entered two separate wars in the Middle East. One in Afghanistan, one in Iraq.
Nah, it doesn't seem related.
Yeah, no way.
You're just being a fucking crackpot.
Yeah, no, I'm just being a conspiracy theorist.
Yep, that's it.
So, I don't fucking know. I don't know anything anymore.
Bears look good so far.
Yeah.
Dalton
I got the game on the side over here.
Yeah, Dalton threw a pick in the end zone. Stafford threw a bomb to Van Jefferson.
Yep. Looking good. You want to start wrapping things up?
Yeah, we can wrap this up.
I think it's about that time.
Yeah, so I have a two-part final thought. One, I would really like to thank YouTube TV for carrying the ACC network, so I got to actually witness the worst loss in FSU history. They lost a FCS Jacksonville State on a game-winning 59-yard. I want to call it a Hail Mary, but it was kind of just a broken play.
Yeah, which oddly enough, Jacksonville State, not in Jacksonville, Florida. It's in Alabama.
So FSU loses to an FCS team at home.
Yep.
21-17.
Yep.
So I was able to actually witness that. So thanks a lot, YouTube TV. Because not only did I get to watch every second of it, it took every second of it, and it was about a fucking 4-hour long game. It was the longest game ever. It was just foul. Like, oh my God, so many fucking penalties. It was so fucking bad to watch. So I'm glad I got to, watch that. It would have been so unfortunate to find that out secondhand, but whatever. At least Mackenzie Milton's back. It's awesome. It's great story.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
We lose to an FCS team. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I also want to give a shout out so that everyone can now accept how bad Notre Dame really is, because FCS Jacksonville State had an easier time beating Florida State than Notre Dame did. And I know I'm using all types of logical fallacies, but this is my podcast, so I'm not going to let logical fallacy get in the way of a good final thought.
No.
So all those people all week where I'm sitting there and I'm like, I didn't think FSU played all that well. Oh, they were right there. Yeah. Oh, one kick. Yeah. Oh, they played pretty well. Yeah. And now they lost to an FCS team.
Yep.
So, good news. Notre Dame still sucks. So we got that.
That is nice.
And they'll just continuously be overrated. And I don't know. They might not cover the spread in one game all year. We'll see. Unless they're dogs, or unless everyone's sitting there and be like, oh, I really think Louisville can take Notre Dame this year. It's okay. Yeah, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Louisville. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they're the ones to bet on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would do that. I think you're right. I think you didn't overthink that one and really took a nice sleeper on that. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So FSU sucks. Notre Dame sucks. The U is not back. Texas is not back. USC is not back.
Nope.
We had it's amazing. The trifectas of schools that might never be back
Yeah.
all lost on the same day. Or the
Yeah.
U didn't lose, but they needed a last-second field goal and bad play call just to beat App State at home. So
Yep.
college football's off to a good start. Florida State's terrible. Almost makes me not want to go to the game at BC now. I don't know. That's why I didn't. So what would it be? I went 2 years ago. So 4 years ago, I didn't go because the team was fucking terrible. Like they were so bad. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, that was the year right after Jimbo, right?
No, what year? So it's 21, which means I went 19. So the 2017 team was when DeAndre Francois blew his knee out against Bama in week 1.
Oh, yeah.
So they were like the 5th ranked team in the country, or 3rd ranked team, whatever they were, top 5.
Yep.
And then they were fucking terrible. And Jimbo gave up the day before the final game of the year. So I didn't go that year, and they eventually lost 30-3 to BC. And AJ Dillon ran for like 600 yards or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, probably a minimum 600.
All right. Well, for my final thought, I have a review, I suppose, if you want to call it that. So there's a roast beef place near the house. It's called Miller's Roast Beef. Now, I want to lay everything out here on the table. I don't want to like name names in particular, but Jones, friend of the show, knows someone who suggested that place, said it wasn't that bad. I happen to refuse to believe that. I told Jones not to bother, having never actually stepped foot in there before. Again, that's Miller's Roast Beef in, I think that's Attleboro on Route 1. So today, we had to go to Home Depot for some stuff. On the way back, we're pretty hungry. It's lunchtime. And Amy goes, oh, let's go to that Miller's place so we can actually try it. And I go, okay, I'm going to be disappointed, but that's fine. I'll try it. And she's like, no, you come on. You've never been there before. Like, I'm sure it'll be all right, whatever. And I go, I'll try it.
Disappointment's a part of everyday life.
Yeah. So. And I'm like, I'll try it, but I'm not expecting anything crazy. So I'm going to lay this out. You will understand this. And anyone that actually is from the North Shore of Massachusetts will get this. So if you're not from the North Shore, or you're not even from Massachusetts, I'm sorry. This might be a little bit over your head, but this is the thing. I walk into the place and I look at the menu. They have 3 options for sizes of a roast beef sandwich. It was like, do you remember what they were? It was like small, or it was like regular, big, and then it was like beast. And then it was like a 2-part menu. It was like, pick your size, how much meat you want. And then there was like a little box next to it that was like, choose your toppings. And it's like American cheese, pepper jack cheese, provolone cheese, all this stuff. And then you could get like onions or pickles or all this. And then you could have their homemade barbecue sauce, or you could have a Chipotle spread. Like, it was all this shit. And I immediately looked at the menu and I go, it's probably going to suck.
Yeah, that's what I'm
because anybody that knows roast beef knows there are 3 options. They are junior, regular, and super. Now, there's a controversial 4th option called the king, which is very rare. It's only available at some certain locations. But
add the king though.
Yeah. I have had a king beef before. But again, it's a controversial 4th option. Stock standard is junior, regular, and super. Everyone knows the super beef comes on an onion roll. The junior typically is on a brioche bun, and then the regular is like on a fucking
Doesn't matter. No one
like
gets
whatever. A good place will toast the bun. You can order it sauce and cheese, just sauce. You can get it the three-way, which I typically don't like because the three-way is sauce, cheese, and mayo. The sauce, everyone knows the sauce. Everyone's like, this is again, bear with me. If you're from the North Shore, like I said, you get it. But everyone's like, oh, hey, did you know that the sauce they use is James River barbecue sauce? Yes, motherfucker. I did know that. Everyone that's born in the North Shore knows that it's James River fucking barbecue sauce on it. All right. Like, oh, yeah, I just found this out the other day. Do you know they sell tubs of it? You can get a 5-gallon thing. Yeah, I did. Yep. Know all of it. All right. Get the fuck out of here.
You have to buy it somehow too.
Yeah. Yeah. So a good beef has those components. It's also good roast beef too, you know, like rare, a little bit warm, a toasted bun, cheese, and James River barbecue sauce. Well, like I said, I looked at the menu, I saw the 3 options, and I saw the build your own, and then the option for barbecue sauce was our house barbecue. I go,
we got a problem.
I'm already out. So I look and I go, yeah, give me the beast with American cheese and your barbecue sauce. The guy's like, all right, cool. Gets it, whatever. We get the order, we bring it back. This place is literally 5 minutes from the house. So we bring it back. I take it out of the bag. I open it up. It's lackluster, to say the least. The roast beef is gray. The bun is not an onion roll. I got the beast, and it was not on an onion roll. It was not toasted. And it had like, I don't know. This is a YouTube show. Like this much of their house barbecue on the bottom bun, not the top bun, the bottom bun. The sauce was on the bottom bun. And it wasn't a lot. You can get fucked. Again, anyone that knows a good roast beef, you see the sandwich, the sauce drips all the way from the top to the bottom. It's fucking delicious. Some places put the cheese on the top. Some places put the cheese on the bottom. Cheese placement doesn't really matter to me, but you got to have sauce on the top. You got to have a toasted bun. So, again, I'm disappointed. And I go and take a bite. And I go, that's fine. It doesn't look great. Maybe it'll at least taste okay. I take my first bite. I think instead of using an actual bun, they used leftover sponges from the kitchen that were spray painted to look like buns, because they were fucking disgusting. The beef was so dry that it sucked all the saliva out of my mouth. And the barbecue sauce was potentially one of the worst tasting barbecue sauces I've ever had. The American cheese was good, though. It tasted like American cheese. So Miller's Roast Beef on Route 1 in Attleboro, you can get fucked. I will never go in there for a roast beef. Honestly, I'm so mad at that place that I probably won't ever go in ever again. But if it's one of those where like I ever do go in again, you could not pay me any amount of money to eat a roast beef from that place. Now, again, they have some other options on their menu. Like I said, maybe if I had to go in again, I would get a different kind of sandwich. But I can definitively say that, as is on par, the South Shore has no fucking clue what they're doing when it comes to roast beef sandwiches.
All right. So the only place that I have found as passable on the South Shore is in Brockton, and it's Giorgio's.
Yeah. But aren't they like Kelly's quality?
Yeah, so that's what I mean is like
It's passable. That's my other favorite thing is like when you meet someone that's not from like the North Shore or around there, or never really had a roast beef. You talk
Kelly's.
about roast beef, they're like, "Oh yeah, dude, you been to Kelly's? Kelly sucks. Fuck off. Get out of here with Kelly's." Yeah. Oh, dude, Kelly's roast beef, man. No, Kelly. If you think Kelly's is good, you're an idiot. It's fine. It's passable. If there's nothing else around, and my only option is at Kelly's roast beef, yeah, I'll eat it. But it is not good. Do not get any sort of thoughts in your mind that Kelly's roast beef is a good roast beef sandwich.
No. But what I can tell you about Giorgio's is it's south of the city.
Yep.
Their beefs go in this order: junior, regular, super.
As they should. As is the only way.
The junior's a plain roll, the regular's a seeded roll, the super's an onion roll.
Yep.
All of which are grilled.
Again.
And I've been to this place.
We're checking boxes here.
Yeah, and I've been to this place, can confirm it's James River. Where they lack is it's just not like a place that's Beverly, Peabody, Salem, like the true actual North Shore.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do differently. I genuinely couldn't tell you. I cannot put my finger on what they specifically do better. It's probably a better quality and prepared beef. It might turn over a little bit quicker because those other places are actually good.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what it is specifically, but
right. Yeah, I mean, for me, by far, Jamie's and Peabody is the number one for me. Tessie's in Tewksbury, it's right on the line between, it's literally, I think, like the parking lot that Tessie's is in might actually be the town line between Tewksbury and Lowell. But it is technically in Tewksbury. Athas and Peabody is really good. I've never been to Nick's in Beverly. I know you have.
Nick's is good.
But I would put that, never being there, I'd put it in my top 10. Just knowing that it's in Beverly and people like it.
Yeah, Nick's and Mikey's in Beverly, there's like a rivalry between the two of them. It's like fucking Pat and Geno's.
Yeah. Mike's and Everett is fine.
Yeah, it's better than
Kelly's.
It's better than Kelly's, but it's not top tier.
No,
it's on par with Bill and Bob's.
Yeah, Bill and Bob's. Billy's in Melrose, Wakefield. Again, that's another one that's like right on the line. It's on the town line. It might technically be in Wakefield, but Billy's in Wakefield. That smacks. That's a good one. That might be a second tier beef. That's like the top of the second tier beef, though. I hear great things about the Modern Butcher in Amesbury, I think it is.
I'm never up this way, man. This summer. Actually, you know what? I played a couple.
You blew it because when you played at what was the place in Hamilton?
When I played in Hamilton, I drove by Nick's. That was a mistake by me.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is when I go to these places to play, like I was actually in Haverhill a couple weeks ago or last weekend, just didn't even think of it. Yeah. I'm like, I just didn't even think of it. So I've been in the North Shore 3 times this year, didn't think of it once.
Yeah. I make a point. Anytime I'm there, I look on the map and I go, am I going to drive by near any roast beef places?
I'm just like, usually
the 110 roast beef is really good in somewhere around Methuen.
Yeah, that's like probably the Methuen Haverhill area.
Yeah.
Because I think I got off 110 to get over to Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be better about that. Actually.
Yeah, they're just like, they're so good. Like I said, anyone out there that's never had one, you don't know what you're missing. You got to go. And don't fucking try and pass me off this beast roast beef shit. Fuck you. That was terrible.
Yep.
That's $12 too. Imagine
Sounds like
that.
Arby's.
$12 for a fucking. I could have had a better sandwich from Arby's.
It's honestly what you described sounds like Arby's, and
Yeah.
Arby's sucks.
Yeah. Like, so, like I said, they lost my business. You know who didn't lose my business, though? You know who gets my business every single day? They get my money, is mybookie.com. You can use our promo code Sarcasm Pod when you sign up, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So mybookie.com is great. They got lines on pretty much everything. Again, football season is back. We spent the whole first 20 minutes of the show talking about week 1. NFL is back. College football is back. You want to get your bets in. Obviously, Massachusetts, if you live here, we still don't have legalized betting. So you have to use an offshore book. So why not use mybookie.com? Because, again, using the promo code SarcasmPod will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So thanks to mybookie.com for that one. Next, we have grillyourassoff.com, which I saw you just got your delivery. Today? Yesterday? Something like that?
I picked it up today. If I pick it up, I mean I have to walk out to the front to get it. But yeah.
It is great. They come in, it's a 16-ounce bottle of seasoning for like $11-12. Right now, are they are they still running the sale? Or was it just a Labor Day deal?
I don't know what they're doing. I paid $10.99 per spice thing, and then we got our 10% off with the code.
Right. So normally for the 16-ounce seasoning, it's like either $12 or $13. I don't know if it was just a Labor Day deal, but for a while everything was on sale. You could get the seasoning for $10.99. So on top of that, if you use our promo code SarcasmPod, you get 15% off your entire order. So you can get a pound of seasoning for like $9, $8, whatever it comes out to be, if they're still running the deal. If not, whatever, it's still like $11. That's for 16 ounces. It's great. They got gunpowder seasoning, which I used on a brisket today. I'll get more of that in the next show. We didn't really have time to get to that, but I'll talk about my first brisket experience. I used gunpowder seasoning on that today. They've got a pork seasoning, infidel pork rub, which is fucking delicious. Their Willie Pete chicken is awesome. The Cajun seasoning is great. They got everything. They got all kinds of seasoning. I think they have 10 different kinds of seasonings. They have a bunch of different kind of like seasoned salts, coffee mugs, aprons, t-shirts, hats, anything you want. That's grillyourassoff.com. Promo code SarcasmPod gets you 15% off over there, off your entire order, by the way. So now that that's done, that is going to do it for us. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, give us a thumbs up, maybe leave us a comment below. Share your picks. Tell me how great you did, or tell me how awful you did, or you faded everything we did, so you did great. You're welcome. Subscribe wherever you're listening right now. Make sure you, what am I doing? Apple Podcasts. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, go over to the iTunes store, give us 5 stars, leave us a review, tell everybody you know about the show. Spread the word, all that shit. We're on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks, and we're on Facebook at Sarcasm Speaks. So I think that's it, right? Until next time, good night.